You got yourself some sort of drone and you're ready to go make yourself some money, right? Well, if you live in the US, not so fast. The FAA has some thoughts about that. So, today's vlog, short little stint about where the heck I've been for the last couple weeks, and then we'll get right into how you can make some money with your drone legally. Real quick, if you're here because you want to learn how to make money with your drone legally, in the description will be a link with a time code that goes directly to that section so you can skip the next part, which talks about my daily vlogs. Welcome back, Ninja viewers. Oh man, where the heck have I been for the last couple weeks? Well, I'll tell you what, it was the holiday week with Thanksgiving, and I was real busy with family and all that fun stuff. Then I had a whole bunch of end of year stuff for my small business I had to take care of, and just been really busy, and you know, not a lot of opportunities to vlog. I've got some footage that I can share with you, like the other day when I was on the way home from a client, when I stopped by this park in Dublin and found this weird, I think it's art, I'm not sure. Anyway, check it out. It's in the middle of a field. And somewhere in there, I think 2 days ago, we set up the Christmas lights on the house. Got some footage of me putting that up and then what it looks like. Cool, right? Somewhere in there, I went out to a friend's place and took some footage of their facility that makes giant big railroad wheels. And then in between in there is just a whole bunch of your typical me getting up in the morning and helping Ninja Wife with the kids, getting stuff done for work, signing up new clients, getting end of year stuff ready, and all that fun stuff. Hey, if you're a new subscriber, thanks so much for signing up. Last couple of weeks, I think we've added about 400 new subscribers and growing. I'm going to be adding a new playlist with all of the drone footage stuff. If you're at my channel because you were attracted to the drone stuff that I've been doing, there'll be plenty of that in the future, but as I've said in other videos, this is my vlog channel, so I hope that doesn't scare you off. There's going to be plenty of... I basically treat the drone as a character in my vlogs, and moving forward, I'll be spending less time talking about the drone in particular and just kind of weaving it into the daily vlogs. Of course, if I ever make a mistake, I will share with you that mistake so you can learn from my mistake. Okay, so you got yourself a new DJI Mavic Pro or some other drone and you're all set to go make some money filming weddings or events or what have you. Well, not so fast. As of August this year, the FAA released a new set of rules or laws, what have you, and it's kind of changed the game a little bit. For a long time now, drones, you weren't allowed to make money with drones unless you got what was called a 333 exception, which is basically you apply to get a permit from the FAA to fly drones for money, whether it be for filming a wedding or an event or a festival or, you know, for movies or cinematography, things like that. As of today, still, if you go to the FAA website and try to fill out a 333 exception application, it tells you right away that they're backlogged. There's a whole bunch of people that are applying for these permits, and it's going to take time, and you got to wait. And oftentimes those things come with amendments and restrictions on how and what you can do with that permit. So the FAA, recognizing that drones is a thing that's here to stay, try to put a handle on it, has put together this thing called a 107 certificate. So if you want to make money with your drone, you have to get a 107 certificate, which is basically a UAS certificate that says that you are allowed to fly your drone commercially to make money. And the rules that surround that are basically the exact same rules that apply to when you register your drone to fly in the first place as a hobbyist, which is the $5 thing that you have to register with to be able to fly. Incidentally, everything that we're talking about today, there's going to be links in the description. So links to the FAA website, links to resources, links to places where you can find out where this stuff is. Everything I talk about, if I mention it or if there's a link to it or if I gloss over it, there will be in the description of this video links to all that stuff. So if you have a drone and you haven't registered it yet, you do have to do that. It only costs $5. You can do it instantly and then you print it out. There's quite a few rules, but the basic ones are You're not allowed to fly at night. You have to stay under 400 feet in the air. You have to fly within line of sight. In other words, you have to be able to see it to control it, or you have to have a spotter. You have to notify the air traffic control if you're going to fly within 5 miles of an airport. You aren't supposed to fly over people unless they are related to the operation. In other words, they are, part of the whatever it is that you're doing. You guys are all out there flying the drone together. That's fine, but you're not supposed to just be flying it over unsuspecting people, particularly at events or places where there's a bunch of people gathering, unless they are in a vehicle or under a roof of some sort. You're not supposed to fly the drone while you're in another aircraft. You're not supposed to fly the drone when you're in a car, unless you're in a very unpopulated area where there's little danger of you wrecking the drone while you're moving and trying to fly the drone the same. Anyway, and there's more. Those are the highlights. And with the big caveat being, as a hobbyist certificate, you're not allowed to make money with that. If you want to make any money with your drone, you got to get a 107 certificate, which is a little more challenging. You still got to register your drone, it's $5, and then you got to pay $150 to take a test, the 107 certification test. And the FAA has resources on their website to kind of teach you what is on that test. However, they don't give you enough information to actually pass that test. So you really will need to either purchase a 107 certificate study guide or look at some of the other resources that are online. It assumes that you have a little bit more understanding about aeronautics and flying and all that fun stuff. And so basically, you're going to want to do a little studying and a little preparation before you go in there. Now, the good news is I think you only have to pass 70% of the tests. And I think it's 60 questions, so you can fail like 17 or 18 questions and still get your certificate. So it's not it's not a horrible test. It's not like you're getting, trying to get your medical license or something like that, or an actual pilot's license, but it definitely means that you got to have some pretty good understanding of some common aviation and aeronautics information before you go in there and take that test. So, links in the description for where there's 2 places in the country currently, and I don't think they've added any new ones that you can call to schedule, and links in the descriptions for all of the testing areas in your region or state where you can go. So basically what happens is you call and schedule and get your test date set up, and then you show up at the testing center that you've scheduled, and you pay your $150 fine, hopefully pass your test, and then you'll get your certificate. And then, for 2 years, you are certified to commercially fly your drone for money as long as you follow all of the rules. And it's basically the same exact rules that you have to follow as a hobbyist, but the only difference now is that you are allowed to make money. And then, there's a couple more tweaks on there. I'll let you read all of the rules and laws and things that are associated with it, but it's basically the same thing. The only difference now is you are now certified to do that. It's also a good idea if you're going to be doing this commercially, particularly at weddings and things like that, that you get some insurance. And you're going to spend somewhere between, I don't know, $600, $700, $800 and $1,200 a year. If you crash your drone, you do $500 or more of damage, you're supposed to notify the FAA within 2 days of it happening, so they can have a record of it. There's definitely opportunity for you to make some money with your drone. It just takes a little bit of forethought, planning, and preparation to be able to do that legally so you're not getting in trouble. Because from what I'm reading and the things that I'm hearing about with the drone stuff, the FAA is still trying to figure it out. And depending on who decides to assess a penalty, should they decide that you made a penalty or broke one of the rules, I guess there's no real standards yet, and they're still kind of figuring it out. And so there's kind of the penalties are all over the place, and it can be anywhere from a few $100 to, I think there's one guy I read in articles, one company is getting hit for like $1.9 million in fees or something like that. So because it's all over the place and it's not real obvious what and how the FAA is going to try to nail you for, if they do. It also depends on what region of the country you're in and which office is handling the area and how happy or unhappy they are about drones flying in the airspace. There's a lot of variance there, which means that it's a good idea to just go ahead and cover your bases, make sure you're in compliance and following the rules, so that in the event that you get an FAA person who's mad at you for flying your drone, you have at least followed the rules and you have a best chance to avoid some heavy fees. I'm not an attorney. I'm not an expert. This is just my layman's understanding of how all this stuff works. I'm just passing along my experience and understanding to you so that you can take with that and do with it as you will as a resource. Anyway, I had a lot of people shoot me that question in the comments and messages about asking about getting that certificate or how you can make money through drones. So I just thought I'd share that information with you. Links in the description below. I hope this has been helpful for you. But that's all I got for you today, Ninja viewers. Thanks for tuning in. Also, as a parting note, it is Vlogmas, which is a YouTube thing where you vlog every day in December. So, being that I'm supposed to be a daily vlogger, but it is Vlogmas, so I'm going to make every attempt to do a vlog every single day in December, just so I can, it'll help me stay motivated to get back on track. Even if it's a boring day, I'm going to put a video out, where in the last 2 or 3 months, if it's been a boring day, I've kind of skipped it. Thanks so much for tuning in, Ninja viewers. Really appreciate it. Thanks so much for subscribing. Thanks so much for participating. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or your comments, what have you, I'd love to chat with you in the comments. Always. Thanks so much for watching. But that means I shall see you all tomorrow. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share these videos. Ninja viewers are the best, aren't they? All right. We are going to leave you with some gratuitous drone footage and some music for our end screen trailer. Bye.